I know I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. I know there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Not even 15 minutes later, I'm still walking down the street when I saw the shadow of a man creep out of sight. And then he swept up from behind, he put a gun up to my head, he made it clear he wasn't looking for a fight. He said, "Kid, not your life, but if you try to make a move, I won't think twice." I told him you could have my cash, but first you know I gotta ask, what made you wanna live this kind of life? He said there ain't no rest for the wicked, money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed, there ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. I know there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Yeah. Well, now a couple hours passed and I was sitting in my house. The day was winding down and coming to an end. And so I turned to the TV and flipped it over to the news. And what I saw, I almost couldn't comprehend. I saw a preacher man in cuffs, he taking money from the church. He stuffed his bank account with righteous dollar bills. But even still, I can't say much because I know we're all the same. Oh yes, we all seek out to satisfy those thrills. You know there ain't no rest for the wicked, money don't grow on trees. We got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed, there ain't nothing in this world for free. I know we can't slow down, we can't hold back, though you know we wish we could. I know there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good.
Who's the black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks? You're damn right. was a man that would risk his neck for his brother, man. Can you dig it?
Welcome back. We're back. The Radical Republicans live show is back live. After a little extended vacation, I am back. Almost didn't make it though. Almost didn't make it. Yesterday was one of those days, man. I didn't think I was going to make it back to the show live tonight. But I'm glad to see you all. Glad to see you all back. TBB, welcome back over there in Getterland. TBB, we've been praying for you, brother. Welcome back, man. I'm glad you're back. TBB had some little surgery. Had to fix that heart up a little bit, man. We're glad you're back, brother. Glad to see you back in there dancing in the Gatter chat room. I hope everything sounded good tonight. I hope the sound is back live as we are. Hope y'all had a good week. Had a lot happening this week. Had a lot going on. And some news just broke about an hour before I came live on the show. We'll get to that in a second. But it was good to be back. I had a battle with some vertigo yesterday, man. It was something terrible. I thought I was dying or something. Yeah, but I had some vertigo real bad. It's a little better today. I'm still kind of woozy and wobbly, but I didn't want to put you all off anymore. I wanted to come back, man. It's been a minute. I know we did that live election special. Give me a thumbs up if the sounds are all good, because we are in this studio, and of course I produce my own show and my head is kind of crazy. Hey, Pure Blood, I see you over there in Getterland. I know you guys have like a 10-second delay or something over there. But give me a thumbs up. Let me know the sound is good. And I think it is, because you guys dancing to that hot shaft music. Carolyn, welcome. I see you. Nicole, welcome. Welcome, Nick. I call her Nick, Nicole Palmieri. How about it? All right, so before I get started, let me get to my sponsor real quick. You guys know this sponsor. And if we stay above the total that I see now, may be able to pop in some Rumble campaign ads as well. All right, so are you tired of the mundane? We're going with Supermassive Black Coffee, of course. Of course. Are you tired of the same old corporate coffee, diluted and devoid of character? It's time to break free from the chains of mediocrity with Supermassive Black Coffee. Crafted from 100% organic beans, this coffee is fire roasted in a Victorian era roaster, a relic from an age when true craftsmanship thrived. The unique process allows the flames to caress each bean, unlocking bold, rich flavors with dark chocolate undertones and a smooth, smoky finish. In a time of soaring coffee prices and supply chain disruptions, Supermassive Black Coffee stands as a beacon of quality and resilience. While others compromise, this brand remains steadfast, delivering a brew that defies convention and invites coffee lovers to explore the depths of flavor and mystique. Join the rebellion against the mundane. Visit supermassiveblackcoffee.com and use code MAMBA, MAMBA, for 20% off your order. Embrace the conspiracy and sip the mystery. Thank you for that thumbs up, Carolyn. So that's supermassiveblackcoffee.com, supermassiveblackcoffee.com, and we appreciate that. So, looking at my campaigns here over on Rumble. Hold on one second. This screen is jacking up on me a little bit. We reset it. So pretty cool. All right. So anyway, we have to wait a little bit. All right. So one of the big things that happened, and I said this, people that follow me over on Facebook. Yeah, I still use Facebook and everything. Have to. That's where still other people are. But we are going to pickaxe.com. You guys need to go ahead and follow me on pickaxe.com. Okay, the show is over there. It's not live. It's live now, actually, being over there on pickaxe.com. But go and follow me, subscribe, so I can see you over there as well. But one of the big things, other than the elections, we're going to talk about the elections, even though I had an election night special. So, what did you guys think about the elections? Let me ask you that. Those that may not have made it onto the special, especially you guys that live over out now in the Virginia area, man, you guys, we got swamped out there, didn't we? Got swamped out in Virginia, man. Hey, but that's what it is when you have a RPV that really doesn't care. I mean, the RNC didn't even go in there. Trump, of course, was not going to endorse the candidate because she went non-MAGA. She said Trump needed to not run in 2024 and just go out to pasture. So, of course, Trump has a memory like an elephant. He doesn't remember. He doesn't forget people that slight him. So he came in on a telecall, a tele rally is what they call it, on the night before, and just talked about Jason Miyares. Didn't talk about the governor candidate, Winsome Sears. But I told Winsome in 2022 that she cut her throat, and I actually put that post up on Facebook where I didn't post anything prior to. Um, yeah, a message was sent to DC Carolyn. We I didn't put that post up because she sort of backstabbed me, but I didn't put that post up anytime during the campaign for governor or anything like that. But I did put it up after just to show people that, I don't be talking trash. A lot of people think I just be talking, but I don't. I have my receipts. I definitely have the receipts. And I in 2022 when she had backstabbed me and she went non-MAGA and thought she got the big head and won the lieutenant governor because Youngkin then paid for her campaign and pulled her across the finish line. They used her to actually get Youngkin across the finish line. I texted her and I said, "You just cut your throat. You're done. Enjoy your next 2.5 years because after that, your career is finished." And she got beat by like I think like 15 points on her or something. So yeah, Nick said she didn't know about my election special. I put it up. I put it up on Getter. I put it up on Facebook. You got to follow me. I'm sorry. Just don't have time to put it everywhere. But so Virginia got swamped. They lost the entire ticket, and they got 11 houses, 11 seats in the House flipped. 11 flipped. So there's a super majority in Virginia. So we're going to watch Virginia become California here in the next 3 years, next 4 years actually, because they got 4 years. Man, so that's that. But this is what happened. And so I go back to the post where I put up on Facebook, where I pretty much said, okay, the election is over. Now all the theatrics are done because this was all theatrics for the election. Now that the election is over, they up on the House and Senate, they'll strike a deal. They will strike a deal, and the shutdown will be over. And what? Lo and behold, guess what happened? They struck a deal. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to share it up on the screen while I read it to you. It's straight from Politico. And so here it is. Senate reaches deal on ending the shutdown 4 days after, 5 days on the 5th day after the election. How about that, right? Democrats are coalescing around a bipartisan agreement to fund the government. Whatever. Okay, so senators have reached a deal to end the government shutdown. We're going to read this. This came out, like I said, right before I came on the air, about an hour before. This agreement, which was negotiated in part by Senators August King, Jan Shaheen, and Maggie Hansen, as well as GOP senators, has more than enough members of the Senate Democratic caucus to advance, according to two people granted anonymity, to disclose the terms. Senate Republicans are expected to support the agreement. The Senate is poised to vote later Sunday night, and they have to advance the House passed stopgap, which will later become the vehicle for a larger funding deal. That note will tee up consideration later this week of a legislative package that would fund the Department of Agriculture and the FDA, the Department of Veteran Affairs, and military construction projects. and the operations of Congress for the full fiscal year. And they do this so they don't have to do a budget, right? They do this so they don't have to do a budget. They continue, they kick the can down the road until the next fiscal year. And then what's going to happen? Oh, well, the money is about to be spent. We run out of money. We're coming up on the end of the thing, and SNAP can't be funded, and the soldiers won't get paid, and the theatrics. And the theatrics will just start all over again, right? I mean, and that's normally how it works. I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. People chiming in during the show. Um, okay, but that's how it works, though, what? Right? That's how it works. Okay, and if I don't seem all together, yeah, I'm still a little dizzy. I told you I had this vertigo thing going on yesterday. So I'm still a little dizzy and woozy a little bit. So I'm trying to get through the show. And I think I'll make it. But why couldn't they just do that in the beginning? So all the theatrics will start again next fiscal year about this, right? So the product of months of bipartisan, bicameral negotiations. This is supposed to be the product of it, right? All other agencies will be funded through January 30th, and then we'll do this all over again for all the other agencies except the ones I named that will be funded till the full fiscal year, which is next September 30th, because the fiscal year and the government starts in October. For all you that did not know, okay? So all others will be funded through January 30th, according to a text of a continuing resolution released Sunday. When is Congress really going to start doing their job and do a freaking budget? This is why we're always in debt. This is why they can continue to raise the debt ceiling, right? This is why. Okay, because they just continue to kick the can down the road, and we keep putting these same people in office. These same people in office, and I have a solution to that, and I'm going to bring up the solution to that. And as we go on with the show, Verona, I may release some more things. I'm debating on some things. I put something out to a couple of people. I have a package out, and I'm getting some feedback on that. I have a couple of people proofreading some stuff, and we'll see what happens, going forward. But I will continue to read. As part of Democrats' agreement to end the shutdown, Senate Majority Leader John Thune is promising Senate Democrats a vote in December to extend, here you go, the theatrics, man, to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies, which means, that are due to expire at the end of the year, short of congressional action. Democrats will also get to determine what extension bills get a vote. But let me explain these subsidies thing to you. It's just like education, right? It's just like the education department, just like student loans. These subsidies are paid by the taxpayer, are paid from the government to hospitals and doctors and insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies. This is why healthcare is so unaffordable here in the United States, because we pay off everybody. Subsidies just mean that they're going to get their money, and that's where supposedly your cost comes down, because the subsidies or your taxpayer dollars get sent to them regardless. Their bills get paid. So regardless of whatever bill they have for doing service for you, it's going to get paid. So of course it's going to be artificially high. Right? If we let these subsidies expire and you know what? You guys go free market, totally free market, healthcare will come down, because then these doctors and these surgeons and if we're able to get drugs from overseas or cross state lines, right? They have to compete. Okay, it would become a competitive process. So in order to make money, what are you going to do? You're going to outbid your opponent to hopefully get the business. So prices would come down, but the majority of people don't understand this. Only thing they know is that they have high premiums. I mean, the Affordable Care Act, if you ask anyone that has Obamacare, it's really unaffordable. Hey, Susan, I see ya. It's really unaffordable for those that have Obamacare. I mean, I've seen people, they're paying over $3,000, $4,000 a month for family health care. How is that affordable? How is that even affordable for a family to have health care? $3,000 a month? $4,000 a month? So they're going to vote on, and make no mistake about it, right? These senators and House members, too, they're going to vote yes because guess what? They get money back from the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, the doctors, right? This is one really just big money laundering scheme, and we're paying for it. We're paying for it, the taxpayer. Because where are they getting the subsidies from? They're getting it from us. They're taking it and getting it from us. I can go to Panama and I can see a doctor, a really good doctor, really nice hospital, my medication, off like 25 bucks. Off like $25, where if I did that in the United States, it'd probably be like $5,000 for the doctor, for the hospital, for the medication, all of that. You know, I went to an urgent care. I was in Cleveland. This is when I was on my break on 4th of July or whatever. Now, and I had an ear infection. I had to get chronic ear infections my whole life, right? But that's probably why I got vertigo right now. But so I went to go see a doctor. I knew what it was, ear infection. Just write me a prescription for some antibiotics, right? So I go there, get back, come back home. I get the bill, of course, because I got the copay thing going on, right? So I got to do the copay. But now I know now, right? I'm a veteran. I don't have to do copay if I go to urgent care. VA picks it up now. Hallelujah for being a vet. However, the bill was like, the total bill, I went there, I was in, maybe there for 20 minutes. She looked at my ear. She didn't even say I had an ear infection. She said I had a busted eardrum, which I knew was a lie because I've had ear infections all my life. I knew what they're for, right? I know what they feel like. And she didn't even write me antibiotics. She just said, take some Tylenol, like 10,000 grams of Tylenol for the pain. I was like, whatever, man. So she didn't even prescribe me any medication. So I came back home that day, where I was staying. I called a doctor that I know. No names will be mentioned, but I called a doctor that I know, and I had this doctor write me a prescription, call me in a prescription for, some amoxicillin. Right? And it was 2 days. I was getting back on the plane in 2 days. So the doctor called it in. I went and picked up the amoxicillin. 24 hours, my ear infection was starting to go down. 2 days, I was able to get on a flight and go back home. And then I came back, saw my PCM, went to the PCM, followed up PCM, told my PCM what they say. He said, you don't have a busted eardrum, you had an ear infection. I said, I know. But it costs like $650 or $30 or $50 to get a bag diagnosis to go see a doctor urgent care, and that's what they billed the insurance company. It's just unbelievable. So Nick, I'm gonna throw this up. I'm gonna throw this. If I can put this up. All right, so Nick said, I'm gonna put your comment. I think I put some of your comments up. But he said I had a pea size. If you don't mind, maybe I shouldn't put that up. But it's cheaper to pay out of pocket than it was to use insurance. I won't put that up. I won't tell anybody all that. But she saved $240 by not providing them with her insurance information. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's cheaper to pay out of pocket because they have to have a list, an item list, basically, of what the services are. It's cheaper to pay out of pocket unless it's a catastrophic, like something huge, right? It's cheaper to pay out of pocket. Joe Olson, I put this, Abigail Spamberger was, Virginia motto, Six Semper Tyrannis, meaning thus ever to tyrants. Yes, and Abigail was a CIA domestic terrorist. No doubt about that, investigator. It's crazy, man. Virginia went off the deep end. And so The House has to sync up with, and you know the House will. TBB, you know the House will. Because it's all theatrics. They always agree in the end. They put up this big act, right? And the American people are the one that suffer. The American people are the one that suffer. You know, and I'm reading in the chat, Pure Blood asks, and why is this big thing going around about Trump going to send everybody checks from the tariff? I don't know. Well, you know what? That would actually be a good thing if he sent everybody checks from the tariff. Might as well get some of our money back while they're screwing us over, right? But she says, why not pay off debt? I get it. I get it. Why to pay off debt, right? All right. So anyway, I'm gonna go back and finish reading because I know I'm still sharing that on my screen. Well, I'm probably not even sharing it on my screen. I just saw that. Hold up. There you go. Now it's on the screen with me. Told you I'm a little woozy. I don't have a producer. I need a producer. Anybody want to come produce my show? Anybody want to do this for me? Produce the show. You can probably produce it from where you are. I give you the key. I just come on and just talk. You guys put up, hey, can you put up clip 13? You know, like all these other people do. But anyway, I actually like producing my show. So the government opening around here we are. The government opening agreement also guarantees that federal employees laid off during the shutdown are rehired and gives federal employees back pay. Of course, you know that was going to happen. You know the back pay was going to happen. They're not going to send anybody home. You know, no money. They know people have bills. They know rent's due. Mortgages have to be paid. You know, so you guys got a how many days was it? 39 days? You guys got a fucking 39-day vacation. You guys were complaining. You knew all you federal workers, and none of you lost your job. I'm sure you just got furloughed and laid off. You're going to be rehired, and you're going to get back pay. So why are you complaining? Why are you bitching and moaning about it? To be honest, because you knew you were going to get your money. It always happens. Enjoy your 39-day vacation. Hopefully, most of you did, right? So many progressives in the Senate, along with a large number of House Democrats, including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, think anything short of a deal to pass an extension of the tax credits as part of the government funding bill is insufficient. We will not support spending legislation advanced by the Senate Republicans that fails to extend the Affordable Care Act, blah, blah, blah. And House Democrat leadership has insisted that health subsidies be addressed in blah, blah. But from what I understand, that they're not going to fund health care for illegals, right? But anyway, so who knows? Who knows what's going to come out of that? But we all know that in the end, what happened? We got screwed. The Americans continue to get screwed, right? Yep, on Rumble. I see ya. So that's where we are with that, right? So that happened right before the show. So there's this big thing. I mean, there's, you know, I'm still trying to download videos for this because there's a big thing going on with everyone in Nick Fuentes, right? You know, you guys understand. If you guys ever watch Nick Fuentes, you know who Nick Fuentes is, right? And so I'm gonna play videos from. I'm gonna play one from Tucker first. Tucker and because there's this big TDS, right? There's this new TDS syndrome going on, and the TDS syndrome that's going on is the Tucker derangement syndrome. The Tucker derangement syndrome. You have all these people attacking Tucker because he had Nick Fuentes on the show. Okay, so let me tell you something about Nick Fuentes first. If you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, then you're probably I'm downloading videos. Oh, hold up. Then you're probably a little bit on the late show as far as who. I mean, it's what I'm going to be talking about. But I'm like copying and dragging videos and stuff. But he's controversial. Okay, Nick says some outlandish things, but you know, I'll tell you this: I was down in when I was running for Congress in 2022. It's story time. You guys like story time, right? So I was at AmFest. I believe it was in Dallas. I believe it was in Dallas when I was at this AmFest. I was down there for CPAC, and normally wherever CPAC is, Nick Fuentes will have a AmFest, an America First Fest, right? I told you guys a story about I was at the AmFest and um, Paul Gosar spoke and he endorsed me. You know, I tell you about the whole thing about the Steve Bannon kicking me out of the house thing, right? Okay, so anyway, I was at the AmFest and the Groypers, right? The Groypers, they were all there. I mean, they show up from everywhere, right? Anywhere and everywhere. And so, you know, I walked into the room with my staff and people walking to the room, and I get all of these people coming up. You're Jerome Bell, right? You're Jerome Bell. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I follow you on Twitter, man. I follow you, man. You're so cool, man. I love your America First stance, man. And you got my support, man. And blah blah. I'm like, who are these people? Who are these people? I didn't know any of them, right? I didn't know any of them, but they were the Groypers. These people were the Groypers that follow Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has like 1 million followers on like Rumble or something or X. So I'm like, oh, you know, I appreciate it, cool, man. And seeing the stereotype is that Nick Fuentes is this big racist because he tells some pretty hard truths. He'll drop an N bomb, you know. He'll drop the N word, you know, in context, right? You know, speaking of something, but he'll do that. I mean, Nick is really, really controversial, but he's actually a really cool dude. And I'm gonna say that. I mean, that I know that I met. He's not racist. He's prejudiced. He is. But he's prejudiced to the fact that, and I'm gonna play some of this stuff. But he's prejudiced to the fact that he loves his race. Right? I mean, he loves his race. He actually sees. And if you don't see it, let me tell you this: being a white person, right? I mean, this and so this is why I'm so huge on an opponent in my community for my people in the black community. I'm totally against abortion. I'm totally against annihilating and not populating our own race, meaning black Americans. I'm not talking about all the Somalis and all the Muslims that's here because they breed like rabbits. They have 3, 4 wives. They have 3, 4 kids each. And soon you'll be Dearborn, Michigan. You'll be Minneapolis, Minnesota from the refugees, right? But this is what they do, especially ones from overseas coming to try and conquer America, right? So for black Americans to kill over 70 million of our babies since Roe versus Wade, we would never have the majority to even think about causing true change the way that change is made here in the United States by voting through elections, through legislation, through, you know, the process in this at the state laws, right? In the process by majority. This is how a lot of these Zoran Mamdanis, this is how he got elected. Other than people in New York just being totally brainwashed and stupid. I'm going to show you a graph here. I believe I got the graph. I'm going to show it. If I downloaded it. But this is how they get control. This is how a Ugandan communist, you guys have to think about this, right? a, a Ugandan non-citizen, well, he's, I guess, a citizen in what, 2 years ago or some shit. How a Ugandan citizen can come to America, a communist, a self-proclaimed Democrat socialist, which is nothing but a Democrat communist. We went over that in my show, right? Negroes and communists, communists and Negroes. I broke all that down for you. How a Democrat communist from Uganda can become mayor of the largest city, the most metropolitan money wise, where the UN is, where Wall Street is, where our financial system lies, can become mayor. Can become mayor. And if I don't remember, you guys remind me, I'm on a crusade. I'm on a crusade to repeal the 19th Amendment, too. We need to repeal the 19th Amendment based on all the women votes in Maryland and DC. I mean, Maryland and Virginia and, New Jersey, not Maryland, but New Jersey, New York City, Virginia, and black folks, man. Should we just repeal the 20th too? Gee, man, when you black people gonna wake up? But anyway, repealing the 19th Amendment. I'm all for it. I got some ladies, man, that hit me back and say, I'm for it too. They're tired of women being stupid. And I hope I got that graph, man. I'm gonna check it. Let's see if I got that graph. I'm pretty sure I do. But I think I downloaded it. Yeah, that's one. Download that. I'll pick it up in a minute. Yeah. Okay. So I did. So anyway, you guys know I'm just all over the place like I usually am. But it's just crazy how people like Nick Fuentes get this stereotype, and one of the reasons why he got the big racist stereotype because he's hard and talks about Israel and talks about Jews, you know, and talk about Hitler. I've even come on the show, and and all the things that I've researched about Hitler, and he was a nationalist, right? Because we were talking about, okay, so abortion and blacks of annihilating our race. And this is what Nick Fuentes talks about. This is basically what Hitler was talking about. Hitler, he wanted Germany to remain pure. He wanted to maintain the white race, Aryan race in Germany. You know what? And I really don't see anything wrong with that. And this is what Nick Fuentes says it too. He said the white race, especially in America, you can see it in Europe as well, is being genocided. Is being genocided, and he's against that. I'm against my race being genocided, even though we're doing it basically to our own selves. We're doing what the KKK couldn't do. The KKK could never have murdered as many numbers that we do of our own through killing in the womb. So this is what Nick Fuentes do. So I have some videos of Nick Fuentes. I'm going to play Tucker Carlson first. So this is the big thing. We got Mark Levin. You got the racist Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is an antichrist, and I can prove it to you if you want me to. If anybody want me to prove you, if anybody want by the Bible, if you are a Christian or if you are a Jew, if you are whatever you are, but you believe in the Bible and you read the Bible. Most Jews, I don't think they go by the Torah or something, right? But I can prove to you by the Bible that with the Bible scripture and Nick Fuentes' own words that Nick Fuentes is and in the Bible they never said it would be one. They know that it would be many antichrists. That Ben Shapiro is an antichrist. And if you don't believe me, I can prove it to you. Just let me know. Just put in the chat, prove it. Say, prove it, damn it. Show the receipts that Ben Shapiro is an antichrist. How many will collect unemployment for that time? I don't know. I don't even, Were they furloughed long enough to get it? Think to have unemployment? I don't even know if they're eligible. That was from True Blood, Pure Blood, True Blood, Pure Blood. Told you my head, the vertigo, man. Pure Blood over there in the chat. So if you guys want me to, like I said, I can prove to you by the Bible scripture and Ben Shapiro's own words, according to the scripture of the Bible, that he is an antichrist. No question asked, right? Asked. But Nick Fuentes gets a pretty hard rap, but I'm gonna show. I'm gonna, and they may not be in order because I was a little behind because I didn't prep yesterday because I had the shit going on with my dome, I'm dizzy and all this stuff, right? So I had all of that going on. So I didn't prep yesterday like I usually do. So I'm a little behind. So if these are out of order, which they probably will be, except the Tucker one, I think, right? I'm going to show you Nick Fuentes and tell me if you agree or disagree, and we can have a discussion on it, right? And I'll tell you this: if anyone, if can anyone call in on the show here? Yeah, I think I can get you in. Well, if you want to come on the show, I'll send you the link. I'll put the link up in the chat. Anyone that wants to come on the show, we can do that. And just looking at campaign stuff. And I can show you. I'm going back to the chats. I'm reading through the chats too a little bit. Yeah, selection, not election. They're all in cahoots. Yeah. I mean, we know, right? They are all in cahoots, big time. Big time, And if you're on Rumble, you guys can actually send me a donation. I don't know how this works, right? Somebody send me a $1 donation. Let me check and see how this works. It says donations. Can you guys donate? You guys see a donate button over there to the show? I see a donate button on my side. So if you guys can donate, somebody donate me $1 so I can check and see if this donation button actually work. If it'll light up and be like, yeah, so I can put your name up on the board. Yeah, Nick or Carolyn or somebody donated $1. All right. So anyway, I see that on all the shows. It's kind of funny. But let's start with this clip from Don't Get Me Started, No Man Dummy. Hey man. But most of the things he's promised, Governor Hochul came out and said that, well, we can't even do that. We don't have the money for it. So he's pretty much lying. He's pretty much telling lies. That's what he's doing. He's telling lies. He can't. He can't. We don't have the money, and everything has to go to the governor that Mandami wants to do anyway, right? So so of course he lied to you. Of course he lied to you, right? So like I said, the Ben Shapiro thing still stands. I don't see the donate button. Okay, well there you go. I don't know. Maybe you have to. I don't know if you have to be a paid subscriber or something. I don't know. Maybe you have to be a paid subscriber, or there's a $sign button or something. I don't know. But anyway, I told you, I'm new to this platform, right? Pretty much new to this platform, so it's kind of crazy. I think if you subscribe to the channel or somehow, anyway, figure that out for me. All right, so I'm gonna play his first clip, and this is Tucker Carlson. And on with and I agree totally with Tucker on this. I'm actually a Tucker fan, man, because Tucker's not backing down from these clowns, the Mark Levins of the world, the fat fines congressman. That guy is pathetic, man. That guy's pathetic. And then we're going to talk about these clips from Nick Fuentes after this. All right.
You think you're going to talk to the youth of America? Good luck with that.
I'm sorry, that's not it. Told you. Where's the Tucker one? Is this? That's not the Tucker one. What happened to my Tucker Carlson one? Did I not download? Maybe I didn't download that one yet, but I really want to download that one first. Hopefully I can get that one first, because He is with Megyn Kelly. And Megyn Kelly is backtracked. I mean, she was a little disappointing. Megyn Kelly was a little disappointing. Uh-oh, probably can't even play. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So Megyn Kelly was a little disappointing because she was hard on, came out and backing, Candace and Tucker, right? And then came out and pretty much bitched up a little bit, I think. But here you go. So I think they scared Megyn. So here's the Tucker and Megyn interview. Oh, well, it's a small clip.
I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, and he was platformed by Diane Sawyer.
Dude, we have a sitting member of Congress. I spoke to the Speaker of the House about this today. We have a sitting member of Congress from Florida called Randy Fine, who was literally texted or put on Twitter, we should kill them all, every single one. Someone texted a picture of a dead baby, and he laughs at it. And it's like, this guy's a lawmaker who's appropriating money to a military committing genocide, and that's cool? It's not cool.
No.
And let's just be honest. That is much worse than anything Nick Fuentes has said, period.
So the main pushback has been when you had Jeffrey Dahmer or the Ku Klux Klan, or et cetera, these journalists went after them, like exposed the terrible things. And Nick Fuentes has said a long list of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He seemed to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms, which I mean, so what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
Do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you. I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person? I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think. And I'm committed to that, and if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my view.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that I share the views. I'm not telling Nazi jokes, obviously, or Holocaust jokes. I mean, please. And I don't, I'm not telling him even in private because I'm not into that at all. But I will say, just since you brought it up, one thing that did bother me was the Usha Vance thing, and I generally make it a practice not to be like, you said this, and da-da-da-da-da, and the internet tells me, or the ADL says you said this. It's like, why don't you just tell me what you do think? Like, why don't you speak for yourself? Because we're adults. That is my approach with everybody, whether I like him or don't like him. But the Usha Vance thing did upset me, because I know Usha Vance, and I love Usha Vance, and I was really offended by that, just personally because I know her, right? And in a normal way. And I did think about that. Like, that pissed me off. And I'm just being as honest as I can be. I didn't want to repeat it.
Yeah, no, you're always in that position. As a journalist, you're always there like, do I repeat it?
Well, if you know the person.
And spread it? Or
well, kind of. And it's like so wounding. And I mean, he attacked my wife, as I said. So I don't know. I'm sensitive on that.
So let me ask you
Maybe
this.
I made the wrong call, by the way, probably.
That was just part of it. So I've even forgotten what he said about Usha Vance or whatever the case is. But okay, so a lot of people are coming down on Tucker because he interviewed Nick Fuentes. And by the way, Tucker has offered Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro to come to TPUSA and debate him live at on a TPUSA tour, campus tour or whatever. And of course, Levin chickened out. He declined. He said, he doesn't want to platform Tucker Carlson. Well, Tucker Carlson has like the #2 show in America, Viewed or whatever, show in America or something like that. Candace Owens right now is #1, by the way. Mark Levin's show is way down in 30-something or whatever. But, what it is, he doesn't want to get destroyed by Tucker. That's what it is. He does not want to get destroyed by Tucker. And so here is some of the fallout. Some of the stuff that Nick Fuentes says. This is But he's I think I'm gonna open up maybe with, he talks about this, okay, the Heritage Foundation president. I believe one of these clips is gonna have that in there. I know one of them is. I just don't know which one because I took them out of order. So I was rushing. I did this like 5 minutes before the show. So we'll go through them and we'll talk to them, and whatever pops up, pops up. Okay. And you guys ask questions. You guys want to, of course, respond, comment, whatever. Okay. But one of the biggest things that happened this past week, other than the failed elections, but we all knew those were all blue states. So we pretty much knew what was going to happen in those states. We knew the Democrats were going to win. We anticipated 5 or 6 seats being flipped in Virginia, not 11. We knew they were going to run the table. They sort of knew that, or they thought that the results in New Jersey was going to be closer, and they weren't. So of course the Democrats are, pouncing on these things like, oh, the Republicans are dead, MAGA is dead, and all this. But we already knew that those elections were going to go blue because those are blue states. Virginia is virtually a blue state. Trump didn't win Virginia last year or the last 2024. And they just got swamped and mollywopped on Tuesday. All right, so let me play this first one from Nick Fuentes.
You think you're going to talk to the youth of America? Good luck with that. It's never going to happen because you inspire nobody. You stand for nothing. You live on your knees and you crawl on your belly and you eat their shit. And that's why you're losing them. That's why I'm winning. Because I'm not setting plays. I'm not living on my knees to fight another day. I'm fighting. I'm speaking up. Whatever the consequences are, somebody has to. Somebody needs to tell Mark Levin he can take his fat ass and go to Israel. Somebody needs to stand up and say Randy Fine is disgusting, morally reprehensible. Damn him. Randy Fine says it's funny that children are starving in Gaza. He's smug about it. He thinks he's in any position to judge anybody, make moral judgments. You are repugnant. Randy Fine, you are repugnant. You are disgusting. You will burn in hell. And everyone agrees with me on this. Don't make them choose between me and you. And the same goes for Mark Levin. And we don't want you in our country anymore. He says, I'm the only member of Congress that will wear a little hat. Well, fortunately for you, there's a whole country that does that. You should go there. We don't want you here. We're sick of you. We don't want to hear your big, fat mouth one more second. We don't want to be bullied by you. We don't want to be told about Israel. Mark Levin says, I don't want to hear any more about the genocide. We don't want to hear any more about Israel. We don't want to hear any more about your ancestors in the Holocaust. We don't want to hear about it. We don't care. We're in the middle of a Holocaust. Do you know what's happening in Europe and the United States? The white population is being genocided. Where there used to be pillars and cathedrals, where there used to be order, where there used to be science and reason, now there is chaos and death and crime and superstition. And that is because all of these countries were white, were Christian, and now they're not. You want to talk about a Holocaust? We're in the middle of a Holocaust. We're in the middle of our Holocaust. What's going to happen in 100 years when our great-grandchildren wake up and they're 10% of the population in a minority and it's like South Africa? What's going to happen in Canada, in the United States, in the United Kingdom, when in the year 2100, white children will wake up in their beds and they will be subjected to land reappropriation like they're doing in South Africa right now, like they did in Zimbabwe a generation ago? We're in the middle of our Holocaust. You want to talk about yours?
So that's what I was talking about with Nick, and I mean, he wants his race, to exist, right? And for all you, and the reason Nick is so hard on Israel is that because these Zionist Jews they want to be the only pure race left. Jews don't consider themselves white. These Zionist Jews, they don't consider themselves white at all. They're Jewish. So they want nothing less than to keep their race and be the only pure race on the face of the earth. This is, and for those that don't understand and that don't study history and don't understand what, I'm going to come back, and don't understand what the Bolshevik Revolution was about. The Bolshevik Jewish Revolution was about killing off all the white Christians, all the white people. And from what I'm understanding, I may do a show on this. I know I started, with the Europa thing. Hopefully some of you guys watched it. But the Holodomor was actually the Holocaust, and a lot of the Holocaust, yeah, people died, some of that happened, but not to the extent, I don't believe, from what I'm researching, numbers that I find and everything, is that the Holodomor was actually the Holocaust, and the Holocaust was the projection off of the Holodomor because of who won the war, who wrote the books, but I'm a little off. People are going to hate me for this, I'm probably sure, but, I don't care. But anyway, is Nick right? Is Nick Fuentes right in that statement? Who is Jones? TBB. Talking about Alex Jones? But do y'all agree with Nick? And don't be shy. If you agree. Don't don't just I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want my friends to be mad at me. I don't want, everyone needs to call. Yeah, sure. I know. I don't want my friends to be mad at me. And I know you may lose your job, but I know people are watching. And I've been canceled so many times from different things. It's, it just happens, man. When you speak truth and when you actually come out here and put yourself out here like that, you get denied positions, you get denied jobs. Some may get fired. Some people. I get a lot of DMs. I'll say this, right? I get a lot of DMs. I get a lot of messages where people actually agree with a lot what I say, but they just can't say anything because they can't really put themselves out there like that. Joe Olson says, Megan, me again, Kelly, is produced by Red Seat Venture, owned by Moloch Murdoch. The same parent, different cage. Same parrot, different cage. Yeah, exactly. So I can understand where Nick Fuentes is coming from, right? I can literally understand that. And I'm not mad at him, right? I'm not upset at him for wanting that for his people because I actually want more for my people as well, right? So I think I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down and see what happens. Maybe that's the way I did it. Brought it into my phone, from my phone to my computer. So here's some more Nick Fuentes for you. See what Nick has to say.
I'm furious. I'm absolutely beside myself and furious. The way Mark Levin talks about this country, he should be deported. Not because you're Jewish, not because you're fat, not because you're gay, not because you're a pussy. Mark Levin should be deported because of the way he talks about this country. Where does he get off? The way he says, it's only off the table if we say so. Who the fuck do you think you are? You whiny, grating, odious, disgusting, fat piece of shit traitor. Where do you get off? Damn you. And I apologize for that. As a Christian, we shouldn't curse people, but seriously, damn you. How dare you say that? This is the United States of America. He says, little Adolf, who were his ancestors? You know who my ancestors were? Joe Cairo, okay? When my ancestors got here, they kissed the ground when they got off the fucking boat. And they served in the military, and they built this city. They built Chicago. And they love this country. They always have. They're all patriots. They love our country's God, Jesus Christ. They love this country. Who the fuck are you? And why are you here? You love Israel so much, it's not purely about Israel or the Jews. Why are you still here, Fatso? Why are you and Randy Fine still here? Need more money, you fucking pissant? Need more money? Need more Americans to bleed for your wars? Need more money to go and kill children? More bullets to shoot innocent people in the back of the head, you fucking coward? And then they try to gaslight us into thinking we're evil. We're not evil. There's a difference. We're self-righteous. This is not anger. This is not evil. This is righteous indignation. This is moral clarity. This is the courage of our convictions. This is righteous indignation of a righteous people. These are the just and reasonable demands of a righteous people. We want our independence. We want our sovereignty. We want a nation under God, the one that we were promised. And we're done being bossed around and abused and insulted and humiliated by these sick people that hate us. Sick people that say we're going to kill 2 million people in Gaza. These sick, arrogant people that have contempt and disdain for the people that they want to exploit for their own interests. That's wrong.
I don't see no lies detected there. I don't care who you are. And Nick Fuentes is only like 24 years old, 24, 25, somewhere around there. Smart dude. But he loves this country. He loves this country. He's more, Nick Fuentes is more America first than Ted Cruz, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Randy Fine, any of these people that we talk about, because these people are all Israel first. How can you be from this country and not be America first? And this is basically what Nick talks about, right? This is all about being America first. Oh, Jay Jones. Okay, got you, TBB. Yeah, right? He's harsh as hell. But so truthful, right? Pure Blood says, yes. He is harshful, but truthful. He is very harsh. But you know what, though? I'm harsh. I guess I can understand it because I'm pretty harsh when it comes to the truth, right? When it comes to the truth hurts, man. The truth digs, and when somebody puts it in your face like Nick does, right? It's hard to deny. Yeah, you're like, oh man, you cringe a little bit, be like, wow, man, that was some strong stuff. But he wasn't lying. Right? He wasn't lying. That reminds me of I don't know if I have that clip, but Muhammad Ali. Let's see if I got that clip. But he said something to that effect basically as well. It's not wrong. I don't have the Muhammad Ali clip. It's not wrong to want your race to survive, right? I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I put up a post, one of my senator here in Idaho, in my district where I live. Now, he put up some post. I have to go find it, but he put up a post basically about this, and how he questioned how can the people of Idaho, want think that Mondami is right. I'm gonna put up a clip too. I still don't let me forget to put that clip up about the women that voted. Why I'm I'm pushing to repeal the 19th. But he put up a post and I responded. I'm like, dude, it's a white guilt. A lot of people have white guilt. I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm like, white people, y'all need to stand the fuck up. We gonna need y'all. We gonna need y'all in this war. We don't need y'all. White people, we don't need y'all cowering. Stand up. Stand up, white people. All right, so more Nick Fuentes. I'm gonna just go down this list, man, and like I comment, man. Because this is how the show works. I get him. A lot of us think like him, but say nothing. Yeah, I know, right? But it's cool though. I love white people. A lot of white people know I love white people, and and I'm sure a lot of white people love me too. But we all have to be together on this because this is America. He's America first. A lot of people like to say America first. I'm changing everything, right? I am no longer America first. I am no longer America first. I'm America only. I'm America only, and I believe that we need to be America only because America first has been hijacked, right? Just like anything good, anything that starts good, anything, it's been hijacked, right? Because with America first, love you too, pure blood. With America first, it means priority, right? It means priority. It means it can be changed. Your priorities can change. It doesn't mean that the shit's gonna stop, right? It doesn't mean that we're gonna end the Fed. It doesn't mean we're gonna stop taxes. It doesn't mean we're gonna abolish property taxes or income taxes. It doesn't mean that we're gonna stop all these wars. It doesn't mean that we're gonna bring American soldiers home. That's it just says America's gonna have the priority, America first. Well, America only, and I'm gonna lay this out over the next weeks and see what you guys think. But America only is just that. There's no wiggle room, right? There's nothing about priority. If it doesn't benefit America, we don't do it. Period. Does the Fed benefit Americans? No. Let's end it. Does property taxes benefit Americans? No. Let's end it. Does the IRS benefit Americans? No. Let's abolish it. Does NATO benefit Americans? No. Let's get out. Does the United Nations benefit Americans? No. Let's get out. Does having 850 military bases around the world in 165 countries benefit Americans? No, it don't. Let's bring everybody home and secure America. It's real simple. It's real simple. My campaign, if I was running for president in 2028, would be America only. Period. If it does not benefit America, we won't do it. We don't do it. I will not sign any law that does not benefit America. Period. Does the WTO benefit America? No, we're out. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. All right, let me see. Which clip was I on? I lost track. I think down here.
Like I said, our first order of business, I want to talk about this apology video from Kevin Roberts. First, we'll watch it. I get my headphones on and I'll play it for you. We'll watch the whole thing and I'll set it up for you first. Just for people that are tuning in, maybe people that don't know the whole story. I do my interview with Tucker Carlson. I'm sure you're familiar with this by now. Jewish lobby is furious. They say, how could you let this Hitler-Stalin apologist? I like that now it's, for years I was a Hitler admirer. Now I'm a Hitler and Stalin apologist. there was a journalist from National Review. She runs up to Mike Johnson in the Capitol Rotunda. She goes, Speaker Johnson, any comment on Tucker Carlson interviewing Hitler and Stalin apologist Nick Fuentes? Hitler and Stalin apologist. Why don't you throw in like Julius Caesar and like Alexander the Great? What do you think about Napoleon and Oliver Cromwell apologist Nick Fuentes, the neo-roundhead, the neo-Huguenot? This stuff is ancient history. Anyway, but so the Jewish lobby is furious about the interview. And the Heritage Foundation president, Kevin Roberts, does this infamous video last week defending Tucker. And he says that, of course, we're not going to cancel Tucker. Tucker is popular and we like Tucker and we know Tucker. And he says there's a venomous coalition trying to destroy him. He says we're America first, we're Christ first, we support free speech, we're against cancel culture. None of this should be controversial. But what has followed since the video is this angry mob made up of basically the Jewish lobby. It's Mark Levin, it's Ben Shapiro, it's Randy Fine, it's the Republican Jewish Coalition, it's the National Task Force for Combating Anti-Semitism. They have a big problem with the statement, and so they lean on the Heritage Foundation. They're leaking all their internal communications. Board members and staffers are resigning. Their alumni are criticizing the organization on Twitter. Everybody's in open revolt. They're threatening to pull the money. Like I said, the leaks are going out everywhere. Very embarrassing. Their OPSEC is totally compromised. And so after this 5-day high-pressure campaign from the Israel First crowd, finally, the president of Heritage apologized for the video. And I'm going to play for you the apology right now. I'll pull it up, we'll watch it in its entirety, and you tell me what you think. We'll analyze it. So this is Kevin Roberts, head of the Heritage Foundation. He writes, leadership requires owning the moments where we fall short, then using them to reset, refocus, recommit. Who is this for? Who is reading this? Like, which normal people, which actual Americans, not weird Jews that run the conservative movement, which actual real human beings are reading this and saying, all right, refocus, recommit. Shut up. Here is what we are focused on moving forward. Join us. Let's go win. Now that we've all apologized for anti-Semitism, let's go win. Yeah, okay, who's signing up for that? All right, here's the apology.
I want to speak plainly, both as president of the Heritage Foundation and also as an American who understands the urgency of this moment. Leadership requires owning the moments where we fall short, then using them to reset, refocus, and recommit. I talked about this today, as you may have seen, during our Heritage All-Staff Town Hall. I'm so grateful for my amazing colleagues. My use of the phrase venomous coalition was a terrible choice of words. It caused justified concern, especially among friends and allies who know how seriously Heritage has fought and continues to fight against the rise of anti-Semitism. Everyone has the responsibility to speak up against the scourge of anti-Semitism, no matter the messenger. Heritage and I will do so, even when my friend Tucker Carlson needs challenging. My
He needs
colleagues
challenging.
know, as do you, the work ahead is too important. Our conservative movement must be willing to wrestle with hard conversations, not avoid them. Last night's election results demonstrate this. The need of this moment is clear. We must articulate a bold, positive vision that convinces Americans that conservative policies will revitalize the American dream. The left isn't slowing down. If we want to win, truly win, we must grow stronger in every way. Here is what we are focused on moving forward. Standing for strong families, because no society survives without them. Advocating for the dignity of work and free enterprise, because it's how people build meaning and sustain freedom. Defending national sovereignty, because a country that doesn't protect itself isn't a country. And restoring citizenship as a sacred
Yeah,
trust,
I feel like a country
rooted in
right now.
virtue, liberty, and faith. It's not just policy, it's purpose. So to each of you
Wait, was
working-
that written by AI? I didn't even notice that the first time I watched it. Was this written by ChatGPT? Be honest. It's not policy, M dash, it's purpose. Not apologizing, M dash, moving forward. I didn't even notice that the first
Each
time.
of you working the long hours, holding the line, doing the unglamorous tasks that keep this mission moving, I see you. I'm grateful. And I want you to know we're in this together. Movements like ours are not weakened by adversity. We are sharpened by it. Let's take what we've learned. Let's recommit. And by all means, let's go win.
Let's go win. Let's go win. I think the next clip I'm going to show will explain that. But when you talk about venomous coalition, right? All the Jews took that because it was all of these, because only the Jewish coalition is attacking Tucker Carlson. So when he said venomous coalition, they took that as he was saying all Jews, and that it was anti-Semitic. The words venomous coalition was anti-Semitic because he said those words. Are you fucking kidding me? Literally, are you kidding me? Right? I'm like, if you I just can't. Hold on. I mean, was this the one? Shit. It is ridiculous.
For anti-Semitic tropes? I'm sorry for my word choice. Venomous coalition is an anti-Semitic trope. We need to challenge Tucker more. Does anybody believe that is the message that America wants or needs right now? Is that good for Republican politics? Is that good for Republican voters? Is that good for any voters? Is that objectively good for anybody? Is that even true? We all know what is going on here. It's obvious. Let's just say it directly and explicitly and openly. The Republican Party, as we all know, has been hijacked for a long time by a tiny but extremely rich and extremely vocal and aggressive and influential group of pro-Israel Jews. Everybody knows that. They use their money, they use their influence, they bully, they intimidate, they are reckless, they are irresponsible. Look at Mark Levin, look at Ben Shapiro. These are not temperate, moderate, sensible people. These are lunatics. They get up on stage and they scream at the top of their lungs, scream and yell about terrorists, Hamas, Islamo-Nazis, Islamo-communists, Hitler and neo-Nazis. They are insane. People like Shabbos Kestenbaum and Bill Ackman, they were Democrats 2 years ago. Now they're in the Republican Party. You know what Shabbos Kestenbaum said in an interview this weekend? He said, we need to put Jews first. That's a quote. He said, Jews need to be Jewish first. He said that in an interview with Israeli media in Israel. He spoke at the Republican National Convention last year. He's suing Harvard for anti-Semitism. He's met the president multiple times. Mark Levin got on stage at the Republican Jewish Coalition this weekend and said that powerful Jews need to use their resources and their position to punish anyone that criticizes Israel. He said, we're tired of hearing about the West Bank. We're tired of hearing about genocide. We're tired of hearing about AIPAC. He said, we're taking names and we'll make our decisions about 2028. Just who do these people think they are? And we all know what happened to Kevin Roberts. The difference between Kevin Roberts and Tucker Carlson is this. Tucker Carlson doesn't have a boss. He doesn't have stakeholders. He doesn't have board members. He doesn't have donors. He doesn't have employees. He's got a small production staff, and he's entirely independent and self-funded. He's in a cabin up in Maine, which he runs using ad revenue. Tucker Carlson can do and say whatever he wants within reason. Kevin Roberts, on the other hand, running a think tank, is beholden to his donors, to the board members. He's beholden to his own employees. He's beholden to partner organizations like the Coalition or Task Force for Fighting Anti-Semitism. And we all know that when he defended Tucker Carlson, there was a revolt among the stakeholders, among the interested parties, all the aforementioned groups of people that he has to answer to. And they said, if you don't apologize, if you don't delete the video, if you don't condemn Tucker, if you don't hire a Generation Z ambassador to be pro-Israel, if you don't bring all the junior staff members to the Shabbat dinner, then you're finished.
Go to the next one.
We're out. This is the line in the sand. You're either America first and by the way, about Hitler, let's talk a little bit about Hitler.
Okay,
we're out. This is the line in the sand. You're either America first and you're with the Americans, or you're Israel first and you're with these lunatics. Kevin Roberts, you're my enemy. Okay? Kevin Roberts says, let's go win. He said, I'm going to talk to the young people. Let me tell you something, Kevin Roberts. Nobody will ever follow you because you don't inspire. Your weakness, your lassitude, your cowardice doesn't inspire anybody, least of all young men. Least of all young men that have had everything taken from them. This bald loser gets up and says, I need to be better. I should have chose my words more carefully. Choose your words more carefully. Motherfucker, we're at war right now. Do you understand the stakes here? We have 50 million foreign born in this country, 50 million illegals, 50 million more foreign born that are legal. We're at war. Look at what's happening. Look what happened to Irina Zarutska. She got stabbed in the neck with a knife. Look what happened to Austin Metcalf. Got stabbed in the neck with a knife. Look what's happening in all of our major cities in public transit. Look what's happening with the carjackings. Look what happened to Charlie Kirk in that Catholic church in Minnesota. And you're getting up there and apologizing about your word choice, anti-Semitic canards? You are weak. You are a coward. You caved. You caved to this small psycho minority that, in their own words, puts a foreign country ahead of ours. They're not even Christian.
Nick is hard, man, but he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. And let me see, before I get to the last one, I think, I'm going to see if I can download this Mark Levin clip that he was talking about. You know, he mentioned what Mark Levin said. Mark Levin, yeah, it's crazy, man. Hopefully it's a play, but let me see which one I'm going to do first. But yeah, I mean, Mark Levin said some crazy shit, and you know, up on there with the Jewish coalition, and these people, and these people are totally not America first. Totally not America first. Unbelievable, man. Right? And these are people with podcasting shows bigger than mine that, and we all know why though, right? Before I play the last, let me see.
Our dear friends, Ron, you're like a brother. You really are. And Rhoda, you're fantastic. They have sacrificed years and years and years serving the Israeli government and really the American government too. Be careful, Ron. You'll go back to Israel and they'll say, what do you have, dual citizenship with Israel and the United States? No, I think you've proven yourself. Here's the thing. If you're an American patriot, you're an Israeli patriot. If you're an Israeli patriot, you're an American patriot. It's that simple. And one last thing for my third last thing. Let me say this. We have this all wrong. Oh, we give Israel $3 billion a year. Oh, they're a protectorate. We, Europe, people of freedom, Jews, Christians, people who believe in liberty around the world, we need to thank the Israelis for what they've been doing. Our dear friends, Ron, you're like a brother. You really are. And Rhoda.
Okay, he said we need to thank the Israelis. He said the Israelis, he went on to say that the Israelis are our protectorate. Israel protects us, the United States. I didn't have the clip exactly what, I can't find it, exactly what he was saying. Mark Levin said, I thought I had it, but I don't. Or do I? I don't think I do. But it's just unbelievable, man. You know, these people get up here. But let me play this last Nick Fuentes real quick.
And by the way, about Hitler, let's talk a little bit about Hitler. Hitler has been used as a buzzword for 80 years to prevent anybody from talking about any of this. Whenever anybody says that Jewish people have too much influence in the Western world, they say Hitler. Whenever somebody says it's maybe a bad idea for America to become majority non-white, people say Hitler. Whenever anybody says we need a strong executive that can actually do things, that can actually send people back over the border, they say Hitler. So we're defanging that. That has no power over us. Hitler, Nazi, these are particular words from a particular time that hold no weight over us. That holds no weight over me. I'll call them cool. I'll say the uniforms look cool. I'll say whatever I want about it. That's not my moral language. I don't care about any of that. We want the fathers back in the home. We want God back in society. We want the nation to be strong. And yes, by the way, we want the country to be majority white. And you can say Hitler until you're blue in the face. I still want those things. I don't care. Nobody cares. So Kevin Roberts says, let's go win. Family, free enterprise, let's go win. It's not going to cut it. What are they arguing for on the Democratic side? We're going to make the buses free. We're going to make the groceries cheaper. We're going to make housing affordable. What are they saying on the right? Free enterprise, family, and anti-Semitism. And another thing, does anybody really believe that what we need is more political correctness? This is exactly the kind of consultant, marketing, politically correct language that was overthrown in 2016. I weep for what happens after Donald Trump leaves the stage. And obviously, I didn't vote for Trump. I don't agree with a lot of what Trump has become. But one of the net positives of his victory in 2016 is that we don't have to talk like that anymore. Why are we still playing these games? This president of Heritage gets up and says, I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't know that was an anti-Semitic trope. He said, Yoram Hazony is flying to D.C. to help me be a better person. Who is buying into this nonsense? Nobody. This is meant to placate the loudest, most disgusting, most vitriolic, most disloyal section of the right-wing coalition, which is this Jewish lobby. Everybody knows that's who it's for.
There you go. So those are the clips I've had it, Nick. I think I played the last one actually first. And if you guys want to hear that again, let me know. But I mean, where is Nick lying? Is Nick on point? Is Nick crazy? Is Nick a racist? Is Nick, anti-Semitic? All this stuff, right? All this stuff that they go, hey, Jackie, I see you finally made it in. What's up? And a lot of them Jews, damn, ain't Jews, and they're not. I mean, they're Ashkenazi and, like freaking Netanyahu himself. He's not a freaking, he's a Zionist from Poland. He's an Ashkenazi Jew from Khazaria. They're Khazarians. They're not, nowhere near are they God's people. They weren't even from the area. They're not. And all this lost tribe shit, no, they weren't part of the lost tribe. Judea and all that stuff. I'm like, no, that didn't even come into effect until they found that sect out of Christendom or whatever, right? If I'm not mistaken, Hitler was a Rothschild, yep, Khazarian. I believe he was. Damn straight. You needs to be a badass. No, Nick Fuentes. I mean, like I said, he's cool, man. I mean, he's when you meet him and you understand who Nick is, right? I mean, it's just like anybody, right? Some people, when I ran for Congress, a lot of people thought I was an asshole because I told and for those on here that's from Virginia that followed my campaign and came to my rallies and heard me speak. I mean, it was just straight up in your face, like, we don't need no more weak-kneed politicians running shit. These people, they cowed to the Democrats the whole time. And Nick is saying, we don't need any weak people running this country anymore. If that's Republicans, we don't need them. And they show their true colors all the time. Like Jack said, patty cake time is over, right? Time for fight. Yeah, but he's definitely a badass in a good way. I mean, I like Nick, and a lot of people don't. And then they have this guy. Should I play? Should I? You know what? I think I'm going to download this and play this one from Brandon Tatum. If you guys don't know who Brandon Tatum is, I didn't bring anything up to drink, so my mouth is a little dry. I apologize for the sound. But if you don't know who Brandon Tatum is, I call Brandon Tatum the token Jew. I call him the token Jew, right? He's a black dude that's not Jewish, but I mean, he toes the Jewish he toes the Jewish mantra, and he's kind of funny because he doesn't know what the frick he's talking about, right? And I got a couple of Candace things too, but I'm gonna. Did I do this? Is this both of them? I think that might just be one. This might be two of Brandon, 2 or 3. But I'm gonna send these. I'm gonna play these. I'm gonna download these real quick. And this guy's pathetic. He is pathetic. And I think this only black guy where they had Money Mayweather, I guess at the the RJC, Republican Jewish Coalition. I think they brought I wonder how much they paid him to be there, because Money ain't doing shit for free. Mayweather ain't doing nothing for free, so I wonder how much they had to pay Mayweather to be there to talk about that. If you guys don't know who Mayweather is, boxing champion Floyd Mayweather. And because I know money ain't doing nothing for free. He's definitely not. And so Money Mayweather was there. He was towing the Jewish Coalition line. I mean, because that's who pay him. Because of boxing stuff. They the gambling and all of that, right? That's how the Adelsons made their fortune at the casinos in Vegas. And I'm trying to wait till this downloads. And so they had them up there. I mean, but the worst is Tatum. Oh my God, man. I'm gonna play a couple of things from him. And he's like the token, because other than him, and like I said, I really never saw Floyd up there, except at the coalition. And so, but as far as on a daily basis, especially on X, you got this Tatum, Officer Tatum, who used to be a police officer, right? So you got this dude Tatum up there towing the line for the coalition or whatever. And that's cool. That's cool if you want to go up there, but man, but don't be stupid, right? I mean, don't be stupid about it. Okay, you support them or whatever the case is, but at least know your facts, right? At least know some facts, and oh, well, I guess I did have that one. I'm gonna bring this over just in case. Okay, so it is too. I mean, at least know some facts about what you're talking about, right? Because it's one thing to have your facts and sound smart or whatever the case is, right? And it's one thing to talk about something that you really know nothing about and you sound like a total idiot, right? Sound like a total idiot, especially especially being a black dude. Because I know growing up, in the hood, black people and Jewish people, we didn't get along, because the Jews, we understood who the Jews was in the neighborhood. There was no mistake about, the blacks and the Jews did not get along. Jewish people and black people did not get along, At least where I grew up at, they didn't. So, that's just being honest and truthful. I mean, I have Jewish friends. I mean, yeah, that's the old cliche, right? My Jewish friends, but I actually do. I mean, one of them was my personal affairs director, Shani Yorman, who's actually in Israel right now. What time is it? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I should wake her ass up because she's over in Israel right now, and I told her I was going to have her on the show. And told her she was going to come on the show live over in Israel, but I know it's like early in the month. I think they're like 7 hours ahead of us. But I want to know, maybe she'll come on. I'm sure she's probably asleep, but she's been putting up videos out of Israel. Showed us guys in the West Bank and all this stuff. And I'm gonna see if she come on. All right, so we're gonna play as soon as this other clip download. We're gonna play this from Tatum. A couple of clips, and I mean it's this big, huge thing now, And I believe that people are waking up, and this is why it's huge now. Okay, as far as why I'm getting all of this Jewish stuff in my feed. I know Netanyahu talked about owning TikTok. Well, they controlled TikTok, how X was going to be next and have to be next, and stuff like that. So, I mean, so I get all this stuff on my feed now. I get all this pro-Israeli stuff. I mean, I had so many clips from the RJC on my feed from X. It was a shame. So I think Elon Musk probably sold out because the algorithms that I just get is just banging my timeline with all this Israeli stuff. So let me play some clips from Tatum.
The reality is that Israel is one of our greatest allies. And for people to think otherwise, you fall in one or two categories. You're either ignorant or you simply hate Jews. Quit lying to yourself. Quit trying to cover. You just hate Jews. Just say it. I don't want to hear I'm just asking questions no more.
How about this? How about I hate dumb niggas? Can I say that? Can I say that? You fall in, if you question anything about Israel, if you don't, Israel is one of our best allies that blew up the USS Liberty. If we don't support one of our best ally, we're either ignorant or we hate Jews. That's it. That's all we get. That's all we get. Right? Hey, let me play a longer clip. I think this may be.
Y'all keep praying for me. I said, I want them to turn that place into a parking lot.
Hold on. Here's one of the things, too. And I think it's going to probably start over. But this is a dude that went over to Israel and they spit on him. He went to Israel and the Jews spit on him. He said that in an interview or on his show or something. He was spat on when he went to Israel to go hump the wall. And then this guy comes back, oh, they're our biggest ally. The people hate you, man. You can't, Israel is one of the things you can't even go and settle there. They can come here and settle all they want, right? If you have to take a DNA test to even go and move and settle in Israel. If you don't have Jewish ancestry or Jewish DNA, your ass can't even go over there and live. Right? This is why they're so big about this Jewish state, because they want the white race, the black race, Muslims. They literally want us all mixed together, and they want their own little greater Israel that's nothing but Jews. Isn't that what Hitler wanted? Well, you guys think about this, right? Let's just think about this for a minute. Put on your thinking caps and be like, Hitler wanted an all-white nation in Germany. In Germany. This is what Hitler wanted, right? Supposedly, right? This is what he wanted. He admitted it. Yeah, he wanted his race to be pure. He wanted Germans to be German. He wanted Americans to be American. He wanted Jews to be Jewish. Now, isn't this the same thing? If you have to have DNA, Jewish DNA to settle in Israel, is that not the same thing? Help me out if I'm wrong here. Point me like in the right direction if I'm wrong. Right? Because it sounds like, that the Jews want nothing but a Jewish state. I mean, this is why they want all the Palestinians gone. This is why they are, promoting, I would say, conducting, more like it, genocide. To me, right? Same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, I think Netanyahu is as much of a eugenics freak as Hitler was. Think he was, right? So I mean, I don't see the difference. I really don't see the difference. Because if that's what's happening in Israel, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So I'm gonna play this longer clip, I think, of of my token Negro.
Y'all keep praying for me. I said, I want them to turn that place into a parking lot. I gotta preface it, because somebody gonna clip this and put it on the internet. Not because of the Palestinian people per se, individual people, but because if you dare to do such an atrocity to people that I love, people that I respect, people that are chosen by God, you decide to do something like that, you should never have an opportunity to do it again. And it should be an example to everybody in the world that if you ever think about trying something like this, your country will cease to exist. Boy, if I was the prime minister, it's 48 hours. Give me 48 hours. And so it enraged me. And then I said my statement. I thought that most people in America were thinkers and had common sense. Well, shockingly enough, I was wrong, because after I said it, we see all this anti-Semitism popping up. We see mindless people on campus wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars getting no real education. And they're out here talking about from the river to the sea and don't even know which river it is. You got people out here saying death to Jewish people and gays for Palestine. I said, I swear, I'll pay for your ticket. The reality is that Israel is one of our greatest allies. And for people to think otherwise, you fall in one or two categories. You're either ignorant or you simply hate Jews.
So which two categories do you guys fall in? He only gave you two. He only gave you two. Oh no, let's see what else he says.
So for somebody to be kind of acting like Israel is just this sophisticated little group of people and they come out manipulating big bad America, that's insane. We went to war for 20 years after 9/11. 20 plus years. Where is the weapons of mass destruction?
And who do you think planted it in the ear of the United States government that they should get involved in the Middle East and Iraq because they have weapons of mass destruction?
There is no question whatsoever that Saddam is seeking and is working and is advancing towards the development of nuclear weapons. No question whatsoever.
Yeah, that would be your boys over there. So with that established, you mentioned that we were in 20 plus years in the global war on terror in the Middle East, right? I was there, I know. Most of my friends on here were there. You know who wasn't there? You fucking Talmud Tatum, nor any of your boys from fucking Israel, our greatest ally. Never once did we get a CASEVAC, not a call for fire, not a single IDF soldier, no QRFs, no resupplies, no bullets, beans, bandages, nothing from Israel for 20 plus years, fighting wars in the Middle East that benefit them. You know who was there shedding blood with us, fighting next to us, down there fucking putting in work? The British, the Danish, the Polish, the Australians. I can go on and on, all the way to even Muslim countries. I know you hate to hear that, but Muslim countries like United Arab Emirates were there fighting with us, shedding fucking blood. You know where we got medevaced? We didn't get medevaced to fucking Tel Aviv, which is right around the corner. We got medevaced to Landstuhl, Germany. So please tell me how Israel's our greatest ally and how they do anything for us.
Boom, that was a total shutdown on that. How many of you guys knew that? How many of you guys didn't know that? That for 20 years, when we were fighting these wars in the Middle East, this war in the middle that Israel got us into by the lies, yellow cake, right? How many of you guys knew that they didn't supply one soldier? They didn't supply, like my man said, one bandage, one medevac. No, nothing. Nothing. And I still want you guys to go check out Europa. If you guys haven't, right? If you guys haven't checked out Europa, you guys really need to go check that out. Really need to go check out that entire series, all 11 parts of it, man. And I think you're going to have a different perspective. It's going to open your eyes to some stuff. If you go in there with an open mind, and if you go in there to like just learn and just see, right? And just see. It's gonna make you at least question what we've been told. It's gonna make you question the lies and everything we've been taught forever, as far as my life goes, right? It's gonna make you question that. And as you see now, and I don't know if you guys have X feeds, I don't know what you guys have social media wise and stuff, but if you saw this pro-Israeli propaganda popping up on your feeds, it's because they're starting to feel the heat. They're starting to lose. People are actually starting to wake up to this Zionism. They're starting to wake up to these false teachings, this false stuff that we've been taught. You know, like I said earlier about Nick, because I know my brother's keeper is in here tonight. She's here and she doesn't like what Nick says, and that's cool, right? I mean, because you don't have to like it. Honestly, you don't have to like anything that Nick says. You don't even have to like anything that I say because I know I say some stuff that totally piss people off, right? But here's the thing. Just because he says it and doesn't make him racist, he's prejudiced. But I think we all have prejudices at some point about some things, right? About some things, whether they're conscious prejudices or unconscious prejudices, right? Prejudices. That Virgo thing. And my family's black too. Yeah. My brother. And but here's the thing, right? I mean, Nick knows black people. You know, I'm like I said, you know, I know Nick personally. I've met him, but he is a nationalist. I mean, here you have to think about it though. Would you want your race? I mean, whatever race you, would you want your race to be annihilated off the face of the earth? Would you want your race to be annihilated? SOP playing okie dokie on me wrong way. Oh. Would you want your race, however it is, like I say, I have, you know, would you want your race to be annihilated off the face of the earth, no matter how it's happening, right? And if you have prejudice, not racism, if you have prejudice and you're the last, let's say, black person, let's say if I'm the last black person on earth, right? I think I might feel some kind of way because I would want some more people around here that look like me. So just think about it. If you were the last white person, the last Hispanic person, whatever, Asian on earth, would you want to be the last one? My brothers said no, but neither do I want my family done to them. I get it, right? Right. So that's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, you wouldn't want it to happen to your family. Of course, we would not. I don't want it to happen to my friends. I have a lot of white friends, Puerto Rican friends, Mexican friends, Asians. I don't want it to happen to them, but if I had a choice, okay, okay, so let's put it like that. If you had a choice, and see, here's where the prejudice comes in, not racism. And here's the difference between being prejudiced and being racist. And we all have prejudices, and it's okay. That doesn't mean you are a bad person, right? It doesn't mean you're a bad person because you have prejudices. It's okay. But if there's a choice between, let's say, me and you, if you are a different race than me, right? And you had a choice. This is your choice. Right? This is your choice. Either I jump off the cliff or you jump off the cliff. We're the last two. We're the last two, right? Whoever survives get to start the world over. Right? Whoever survives get to start the world over, right? And if you had a choice, you were given the choice. You were given the choice that I have to jump off the cliff or you have to jump off the cliff. Which choice are you going to take? And I'm going to tell you 100 out of 100 times, I'm making your ass jump off the cliff because I'm going to survive. And I'm sure you're going to do the same if you're smart. If you love yourself, you love your people, right? And that's pretty much all Nick is saying, right? That's pretty much what Nick is talking about and what Nick is saying. My son is texting me. What's up? Text me about the football game today. Yeah, the Browns suck, I know. You're gonna jump. Come on, sweetie. Come on. You're gonna jump. So you're gonna jump and let me survive. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I can say. You're gonna jump with your family. No, no, no. I'm not. See what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make you jump and keep me and my family here. But it's just two of us though. See, there's no families. You're cheating. you, you're cheating, my brother's keeper. You're cheating. You know, and if you feel that way, that's cool, right? If you feel that there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel that way, I'm surviving. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna tell you that I am a survivor. I'm surviving. I love you to death. I love you to death, to pieces. But if I'm going to tell the truth and I'm going to be honest with myself and honest with you, I ain't jumping. I'm not jumping. You gonna jump. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna kiss you, and I'm gonna help your ass off the cliff. I'm gonna help you off the cliff because I'm gonna survive. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. And that and see and there's and that's the rub and that's where we are. You know, the strongest survive. I mean, this is a natural phenomenon. The strongest is supposed to survive. The strongest. That's how God sort of created us, right? Isn't that how how it's supposed to be? The strongest survive. That's the way it is in the wild, right? That's the way it is in every walk of life. The strongest survive. You go out to the jungle and lions kill each other. Why do male lions kill other male cubs? Because they want their genes, they want their genes and their pride to survive. That's just the way it always is. The third person telling me to choose is the one you don't see, but you've already down to it. Everybody's gone and you guys are cheating. Stop cheating. Jackie says, the third person telling me to choose is the one getting thrown over the cliff. Okay, so you throw that person over, then what? One of you, these are the rules. One of you have to survive. Only one. Only one. See, and this is where the empathy and the compassion comes in that. But it's because people, honestly, people don't want to, and I'm glad my brother's keeper said that, right? I'm glad she said that. You know, I'm glad she said that. But if it came down to it, and she says, I can't do it any other way, that would kill me. But you are the last survivor. You survive. Your people, your family. See, this is what you have to think about. It is your family. You are your family. You are your people. You are everybody, right? You say you jump with your family, so then your entire family cease to exist, right? Why wouldn't you want your family to exist? That's where the prejudice comes in. It's not racist. It's not racist. It's prejudice, and it's okay. It's okay to have prejudices. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know what you're saying because you have a mixed family. I get that. But I'm all into for the for the rules and for all intents and purposes of this topic of prejudice, you have to work with me, right? You have to work with me. But I would want my family or my people to survive and start the world over. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, now we get into this, you know I brought it down to this minuscule, to this macro thing, right? Brought it all the way down to just see, but that's the best way I can explain, the best way to explain a prejudice, being prejudiced. And it's the survival of the fittest. And if it came down to me and someone else, I'm the one that's going to survive. 100% of the time if I had the choice. 100% of the time if I had the choice. But well, what I'm doing, hey, thank you guys for tuning in, man. That's a quick 2 hours, man. Wow. That's a really, really quick 2 hours. I don't want to talk about you, boy. Okay, but when you listen to Nick and you listen to people, like that, I mean, this is what people are just talking about, right? It's just about survival. And right now, we're talking about survival now as a country. We're talking about survival now as a country. I see a lot about the Muslims are going to take over. We're going to be a Muslim country, the refugees, right? So we're talking about the survival of America, right? So a lot of you guys are prejudiced about that. A lot of you guys are prejudiced about that, right? Because if you don't care, if you're not prejudiced about that, you're not prejudiced about your country surviving, you're not prejudiced about the America, you wouldn't say anything about Muslims coming over to take over. You wouldn't say anything about, the Hispanics, Venezuelans. You wouldn't care who comes to take over the country if you weren't prejudiced. But you're prejudiced for your own country. You're prejudiced for the survival of your country. See it every day because people talk about it every day. That doesn't mean you're racist towards Hispanics, you're racist toward Asians, you're racist. That means you want to survive. That's what I'm talking about. You want to survive. You don't want this country to end because it's yours, because this is our country. It's your country. It's our country. This is where my family's from. 6, 7 generations. My family is from here, from this country. I have the documents to prove it. So I don't want another country, people from another country coming to take over my country. I'm prejudiced against that. I'm not racist towards them. I'm prejudiced against that. Because I want my country to stay my country. How about that? Does that make more sense? So I love you, my brother's keeper. You know I do, right? You know I do. All right, so we're gonna end. What are we gonna end with? What you guys want to end with, man? I think I'm gonna end with this. But I appreciate y'all. I check you guys out next Sunday. I think I'll be back next Sunday, I think. And I have some stuff coming up. I have retirement ceremonies and stuff I have to go speak at and things like that. But this month. But I believe I'll be back next Sunday. Same time, same place. Thank you guys for tuning in. And this is for you here coming up in a second.
I'm Sam.
Representative.
NBK. My brother's keeper. Because I love y'all, like I said, and we're all in this together. We're gonna save this country. And America only for me. America only for me, and I'll check you guys out later. Y'all take care. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Sunday night, as always.
When the night
Y'all take care.
has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea. I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're